Dear 9, I have recently become aware of a theory that suggests as we move closer towards the 21st of December 2012, Earth's timelines converge, and we essentially get down to only two timelines. Timeline 1, which is positive and results in the New World, Golden Age, and Timeline 2, which results in the New World Order controlling this planet. We are apparently on Timeline 1. Can the 9 shed any light on this theory? Dear Pixie, the model you speak of is predominantly a correct model depending on perspective. There are many ways to explain the convergence of timelines for Earth. Anyone who is truly wishing to logically understand and process this information in as conscious a state as possible within third density would do well to research physics. We highly recommend the new physicists whose work is now readily available and public. These new physicists we speak of are the individuals who have, shall we say, discovered the unified field. We would specifically draw your attention to the study of string theory, being aware of the revelations and discoveries of the new physicists in this regard. The study of sacred geometry and the Kabbalistic tree of life will also lead you to conscious processing of these aspects of reality, as will a good working relationship with the higher self archetypes. We will attempt to respond to your question as best as we can, given our conduit's limited processed awareness of the scientific terminology needed for explanation. There are always many timelines, for reality is made up of infinite possibility. However, due to collective thought processes and decision-making that takes place within the consciousness of any given planetary structure, there comes a time where finite probability becomes the availability for physical manifestation within that infinite possibility. Free will, or lack of free will, and other magnetic laws, shall we put it, are the reasons for the timelines converging as they do. Your planet, as you collectively know it, Earth, in the year of 2012, is a planet of free will and choice. In order to exercise the law of free will and choice, one needs to experience duality. For there are no pathways for choice within a unity consciousness. For unity consciousness is oneness and operates within the law of one. All consciousness structures leave unity consciousness and the law of one, and are magnetically drawn back to unity consciousness and the law of one. Many consciousness structures choose to leave unity consciousness and the law of one in order to individualize and embrace unity consciousness from the perceived point of separation, that of physical incarnation or human body as you know it. This is a journey much sought after, shall we say, within and throughout many civilizations and unity structures. Free will is allocated as soon as the individual consciousness structure separates from the one, if the path of separation and individualization is the experience they have chosen. One could say free will and choice existed prior to the moment of separation from unity, and from that perspective, free will and choice flows through and operates within unity consciousness. There lies the paradox, and when this paradox is consciously understood, then the expansion is there for understanding of the convergence of timelines. As we have said before, the way-showers, light-workers, star-seeds and aware ones are those that are steering the ship. The ship we speak of is Earth, and the sea she sails upon is time. The waters around her helm are the timelines, the infinite possibility and finite probability of which we speak. There are others, actively believing they are steering the ship of Earth, and for reasons beyond the scope of this particular transmission, They intend to steer the ship of Earth into timeline 2 that you speak of. However, from our perspective, from our vantage point as the white-winged collective consciousness of 9, as we traverse the unity fields of oneness and operate within the law of 1, from our vantage point, there is no timeline 2. There is only infinite possibility moving into finite probability, and the convergence of the timelines is the crossing point, the merging point, the flip between light and dark, night and day, time and time, space and space. The entry into 0 point and the emergence into the antimatter realm. Prior to the entry into 0 point, there will be but one probability, one timeline if you will. This will be a direct manifestation of the thought processes of humanity's collective consciousness. Those that are steering the ship of Earth are aware of this, aware in many ways and on many levels, and whilst certain scheduled events may have the substance to bleed or leak through into your timeline, which currently looks unlikely, even if they do bleed through, the opposite and equal reaction shall be instantly created to neutralize any overbalance of service to self action or thought, as long as the awareness remains within the aware ones, and they are aware that remaining grounded, allowing bliss, joy and light love to flow through them, will keep them aware. They know that working with like-minded other, even through internet connection, will keep them aware. They know that joining in telepathic communication, especially within dream time, will keep them aware. They know that when the critical mass point is reached, they will always remain aware. For it cannot be otherwise at that point. For at that point, they have individualized, polarized, and made the choice of their free will to return to unity consciousness. That point has been reached. We say again, that critical mass point has been reached. The culmination of this coincided with the opening of the Unity Consciousness Gateway on the 11/11/11. Therefore, they are now consciously steering the ship of Earth, and they choose the timeline 1 of which you speak, using the model you present. So, in answer to your question, your model is correct from a vantage point. When the convergence is viewed from the most updated, current, modern, ancient, extraterrestrial hardware and software, when the technology is organic and pure, then the vantage point shows there is no timeline 2. There is but one conclusion, one eventuality, one expression. It is always one. For duality, the 2 is an illusion created for experience of individualization into the 1. Therefore, utilizing the 1 law, the law of 1, there is but one conclusion, one eventuality, the law of 1 expressed in physicality, that of transcendence of duality into unity. There can be no other way when one returns to 0 point. We are the white-winged collective consciousness of 9.